Before there was a studio willing to greenlight a black-led film, before there were Oscars for black directors and filmmakers, before Hollywood allowed black storytellers to shape the frame, there was Oscar Micheaux. Not just a filmmaker, not just a founder or a blueprint, but a man who wrote himself into history when no one else would. Hi, I'm Angel, and welcome to Legacy on Screen here at the Honor Society at the LA Film School during February, Black History Month. Today, we honor Oscar Micheaux, the first in the legacy of great filmmakers in the history of the industry. Born in 1884 in Metropolis, Illinois, Oscar Micheaux was a son of former slaves, raised in a country still tangled in Reconstruction. He would eventually leave the Midwest and become a homesteader in South Dakota, literally carving out a life on unforgiving land. That struggle, the isolation, the perseverance, and the need to make something from nothing became the heart of his stories. Micheaux's career began as a storyteller, a novelist. His first book, The Conquest, a story of a Negro pioneer, was loosely based on his own life and sold directly to black farmers and working class readers. You see, he worked at a time when there was no table for the black creator to sit at. So he wrote his own work, self-published, and marketed his work completely by himself. Door to door, community to community. He built his own audience long before social media, long before there were platforms for independent filmmakers, long before society was ready for the black storyteller. In 1919, he did something no black American had done before. He turned a novel that he wrote into a feature film, The Homesteader. That moment made him the first black feature filmmaker in American history. And that was just the beginning. Between 1919 and 1948, Oscar Micheaux wrote, directed, and produced over 44 films. Many of them were created under his own production company, with funding raised directly from black business owners and churches. He screened his films in segregated theaters, churches, barbershops, anywhere the people were. Because the industry wouldn't give him the space, he built it himself. Micheaux didn't just want to make films. He wanted to rewrite the narrative of the black identity in American cinema. At a time when Hollywood was pushing racist propaganda like The Birth of the Nation, Micheaux responded with Within Our Gates in 1920, a powerful, unflinching film that addressed lynching, racial violence, and the true horror of white supremacy in America. He tackled colorism in The House Behind the Cedars in 1927, black soldiers returning from war and the symbol of the unconquered in 1920, and the moral complexities of justice in Body and Soul in 1925, which featured Paul Robeson in his first film. These weren't easy stories to tell. They were layered, political, often controversial. They weren't polished like studio pictures, but they were real, raw, ahead of their time, necessary. It allowed audiences to see themselves and help them deal with the realities of life at a time when their community was not welcomed, embraced, or supported. He was criticized for being too bold, too messy, too unapologetic. But you see, that's what it takes to pioneer. Micheaux was a businessman, a showman, a cultural critic, and an artist. He wrote his own scripts, negotiated with theater owners, and battled censorship boards that tried to silence him. He was arrested. He was banned. And for decades, he was erased from film history. And yet, he endures. Oscar Micheaux wasn't invited into film history. He kicked the door open. He lit the lamp for generations to come. When Spike Lee won his honorary Oscar, he thanked Micheaux. When Ava DuVernay stood on the red carpet, it was the road he paved. When Black Panther broke records worldwide, Micheaux's legacy was there, quietly holding the door wide open. Because his films, his work, and his truth showed all of us what truth really means. The power to tell our stories is the power to define our future. Today, Micheaux's name is spoken with reverence, but he still deserves more. More study, more spotlight, more space. So if this is the first time you're hearing about him, let it not be the last. Go read his books, watch the films that have survived, and learn from the man who proved more than a century ago that Black stories are not just worth telling, they're worth fighting for. To quote Oscar himself, "Your self-image is so powerful, it unwittingly becomes your destiny." Thank you, Oscar. Thank you for the blueprint, for the rebellion, for the passion, for the lens you left behind. We will remember, we will learn, and we will continue that movement forward. Thank you for visiting us here, the LA Film School Honor Society, where we are celebrating Black History Month. I hope to see you later in the month, and please leave us your comments. Let us know what you think, and if there's anybody else you'd like us to explore here on the YouTube channel for the Honor Society at the LA Film School. I'm Dr. A.Y. He. You can call me Angel, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.